Hey there, travelers. My name's Kai. Welcome to Proudly Radical. I don't feel well. That's right out of the gate. I don't feel well today. That's a thing that's happening. I'm sort of clammy and little lightheaded. So we'll see where this ends up. I do have a few stories that I want to talk about, a few articles that I think need covering, and we will see where we end up after that. Hey, I see Ace in fucking chat in the user list. Hey there, Ace. I don't see you. I don't see you that often these days. I hope you're doing okay. Let's toggle. Let's toggle over to that. Got that trimmed down pretty hard. I should adjust that. Hey, J Miles. Sec here. There we go. Oh, AC. I hope you're doing okay. Hey, Zero. What's up, my man? How goes Canada? So for anybody who's following the absolute shit fuckery, all right, give me. I want to run some headlines here. Tell you what. If you want to stage yourself into voice chat, feel free, and I'll just keep an eye on that. But I have a couple of headlines that I want to hit first. No, because anarchism isn't about that. Minus this government I'm in, can't complain. Preach, sister, preach. Anarchism is, it's a collapsing down of hierarchical. Hey, Sue. It's a collapsing down of hierarchical power structures and a challenging of authority mechanisms based on a philosophical challenge. All right, there's many streams, many tributaries that feed into the river of anarchism, and so there's many conversations to be had surrounding it, and many flavors and brands of it. But specifically for me, coming from a political science point of view of anarchism, that's what it is. So it's not like we can really like institute an anarchistic government. It's not a thing that would happen. Anarchism informs the modality of how economies and societal structures operate. So if we manage to implement that, would I become conservative in the sense that you're attempting to conserve or stop change? No, I wouldn't. I would continue to push the needle forward and use anarchism to inform that progress. So the next step would be the next step, only I would bring to it that anarchistic philosophy of, okay, we have to, make sure that there is equal and equitable representation, that they have solidarity, that there's, okay, there's the spiel. Cool. Good to know. If you want to know like first step sort of territory, Miles, J Miles, hey, SJW. Feel free to read that document. That'll always give you an overview of sort of big picture of like anarcho-syndicalism, which I see as sort of a half step. For those just joining, I don't feel well today. I'm sweaty. I'm clammy. I just not great today. I think I'm just not fed correctly, quite frankly. And I got GI issues. No, we are not getting Buck Wild tonight, Sue. Yes, that was Dorona. No, likely not, seeing as I don't have any outside exposure. There's no way for me to contract it. I thoroughly disinfect anything that comes into this house, and I have mostly deliveries for everything. And the only time I've been outside was a while ago for blood work for a lab. I don't know whether to be happy for you or not. Be very happy. It's a dream. It's a dream for me. I used to be, I used to party and shit like that, right? I was always going out for stuff. But there came a point in my life where I just sort of was like, I have everything I want and like at home, and I don't really want to go out. And so, I'm I love this. I really do. The fact that I can wear a mask and sunglasses into a bank, the fact that I don't have to go anywhere, the fact that everybody has delivery and curbside service now. I got to tell you, this has been a wonderful change of pace for me. It's terrible to say, minus the whole 220,000 Americans dead part. Yeah, I could get it from the Gay Frogs. AJ! It's the future from Wall-E. As long as you don't, as long as you don't, as long as you don't end up completely in the chair. That's how I feel about that. So, because Zero wants to talk, so let me hit a few headlines here, so I don't keep Zero waiting forever. But there are some things that I want to talk about. There are some headlines of the day and of yesterday. So let me pull up. Let me get that on screen. Give me one sec. So, Ace saying this version of life caters to my social anxiety. And America's not going to change anytime soon. This shit ain't going away. So fucking, yeah, for those with like a whole host of, how do we want to put it, neurodivergent, traits. No worries, Sue. No worries. What are you doing an interview on? Just out of curiosity. So the U.S. Justice Department it's going to be an American disease, and a Brazilian disease, and I forget a couple others. But yeah, it's the 60s scoop. I don't know what that is, but feel free to inform me. The U.S. Department of Justice, in conjunction with the Five Eyes, if you're not familiar with the Five Eyes, it's U.S., Canada, Britain, New Zealand, and Australia. We are a part of a global spy network. We surveil with signals intelligence and that sort of thing. Think NSA, but on a global scale and coordinated between those five countries. So the U.S. Department of Justice, in conjunction with the Five Eyes nations, issued a formal statement asking Apple and other tech companies to effectively create backdoors that will weaken encryption strength overall to provide law enforcement access to data. Basically, what they want to do is they're saying they want to embed the public safety and blah, 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 blah. There's a whole bunch of government propaganda bullshit. What they want is, it's what they nicknamed to kill the Indians. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Not cool as in the program, but cool that you're doing that. Glad you're getting that message out there, man. They want to undermine end-to-end encryption. They do not like the fact that the tech industry has, to a certain extent, completely undermined their surveillance capabilities. Hey, board. So this is sort of an authoritarian step towards undermining a mathematical and technological process that they really can't control. And this is one area that I have firsthand experience in, because one of my early pieces of work, don't with the capitals. One of my earliest pieces of like coding art is a multifaceted, multi-layered file encryption system that I built. And I got in trouble for it because I didn't know. I was just a high schooler at the time. I had no idea that exporting encryption at that point in the US was classified under weapons programs. And so I was technically exporting weapons outside the US. So I have firsthand experience in this arena. And so I'm a fan of encryption. I've written encryption algorithms in assembly. I still have some of them, but this is an area I have direct experience in, and I got to tell you, there is no way to build an effective backdoor into an encryption into a secured system. Once you secure it, then there is no methodology by which you can insert a backdoor that isn't going to undermine the fundamental security. The encryption process is a mathematical process. So either you have to add a backdoor to completely bypass that process, or you have to undermine that process entirely. So either way, those are discoverable methodologies. Security researchers, bad actors, state actors, they're all going to, the instant you say the system is implemented, they're going to begin penetration testing, and they're going to begin probing these systems. And they will inevitably, yes, SJW, I mean, hackers aren't the one you really need to worry about. Like I said, it's bad actors and state actors that you need to really worry about on this one. It's countries that have resource. Independent researchers. Be more specific. No, there's no way. All right, let's do this. I will debate this all day long. There's no way to, no security researcher or encryption programmer, algorithmic programmer has ever agreed to that concept. Not that I'm aware. And I know there's a document from a whole team of MIT researchers that will back me up on this one. So get into voice chat. We'll have this one. Well, yeah, and I'm a little out of it as well, Cat. That's I'm still burned a little bit from last night. Jesus Christ, that was a slog. Okay, well, I'm over there. This is the same. This is the same thing about secure electronic voting. We're not there yet. I had to smudge after last night. For those unfamiliar, smudging is a spiritual or ritualistic practice, generally involving sage and the burning of plant matter to that sort of thing. So, yeah, just informing that. So, this, it's dangerous. It would set a dangerous precedent. It would undermine a whole host of technological stopgaps that we have. It would become a sort of globalistic issue. I assure you that if we implemented this, if we implemented this, I assure you, it would be abused at the highest at the highest annals of power. There is no way, if we create a master key or a backdoor into an encryption system, even with a multifaceted encryption system, you're going to end up with an abuse. Somebody is going to share that backdoor. Somebody is going to share that key. And so ultimately what you're going to end up with is someone like the NSA, the CIA, are going to have access. Yeah, it's not a good idea. All right, let's talk about Psycho. Example. Yeah, EG means example. I hate to break it to you. It's the Department of Justice under the Trump administration and the Five Eyes. And currently the UK is controlled by the Tories for the most extent. So stop trying to make it a partisan issue. It's an authoritarian issue. You partisan hack. There's bipartisan support across the board. This is about control and power, not about political party, which you just attempted to do. unless last time I checked that the DOJ under the control laissez-faire mod day, I guess, says Kat, unless you're attempting to say that the Department of Justice under the control of William Barr and under the Trump administration is somehow a democratic entity. It's not that they're not allowed, but they will be heavily criticized and given mad amounts of shit. So it's a matter of would they want to be here even in a non-surveillance capacity? Because oh, this is what I just put into chat. Yes, the Hangover card counting scene. Yes. So, as a longtime donor and contributory member to the Electronic Frontier Foundation, as somebody who's written encryption algorithms, as somebody who is vastly familiar with secured communications methodology, that is a terrible, terrible idea. And of course, if you want to know how bad it is, the reason they trotted out was the children. And anybody who's familiar with the American government and policies that they enact, anytime they roll out as their justification for something to be the children, you have to think of the children. What about sexual exploitation of the children? You know they're up to no good. It's just a calling card. And of course, right in their justification was sexual exploitation of children. Yeah. Said by literal pedos, says SJ, and Ace, oh my Lanta. Yeah, so, yeah, blah. I've been fighting this fight my entire life, literally. Like, this has been an uphill battle for ages, and for the most part, technologists and mathematicians have had the upper hand, seeing as encryption is a mathematical concept, and ultimately there's very little you can do to truly undermine it. What they could do is get Apple and Google to build in some sort of backdoor, and that would capture the majority of the market. But ultimately speaking, somebody is going to provide a methodology for bypassing that. Jailbreaking your phone, installing a custom ROM, and then installing some sort of custom communication software that isn't built or derived from a company inside the United States would fundamentally get you past this. You can't just break the concept of encryption. So as long as somebody has a modality or a methodology for implementing that technology, there's nothing they can really do to hold it back. But if they manage to capture that tech company market, if they manage to actually capture the manufacturers into some sort of legal framework in which they have to, then you would have the majority of communications. Most people are not prepared to jailbreak, install a custom ROM, and deal with all sorts of, custom communication software. It's just not something they're willing to do. That the people who are willing to do that are in the vast minority. So it could be effective, in that regard. So let's talk about the crazy one. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this headline, just to get it out of the way. Lindsey Graham joking, most deadpan. If this was a joke, it was the most deadpan delivery ever in the history of deadpan deliveries. Bill Murray would be impressed with how deadpan it was if it was a joke. He, during the Comey appointment hearings, he referred to the good old days of segregation. Straight up. He just right over it. And you're not saying that back in the good old days of segregation, it was at best the most tone-deaf question and comment that, I mean, amongst a group of people who are completely known for being removed from and tone-deaf. I'm with you, Ace. I'm with you. Or, at worst, it's Lindsey Graham literally referring to the good old days of segregation. I don't know which it is. I don't inhabit Lindsey Graham's head, so I can't tell you what his intent was, but I think we can all we can guess. I think it leans closer to the worst case scenario than it does the best case scenario. I think he used the, oh, I'm just joking, bro, excuse as often is used. What in the fuck went on with this? Either way. Yeah, I'm with SJ. I think he knew what he was doing. But again, no way to get into his head, and even if I could, I wouldn't want to. He's a fucked up and twisted individual. So let's do a couple here. Yeah, Freudian slip at best. So let's do a couple of these. Oh, fuck off, independent. That is fair. That is fair. And they're working on it. They're working on it. I hope they pull that off, just like McConnell in fucking Kentucky. I hope they manage to pull it off to a certain degree. This. Coney, she refused to acknowledge whether she would overturn decisions that provide legal protections to birth control and same-sex marriage. She won't comment on these because everybody knows her actual opinion. And it would be unpopular for her to state her opinion. So she's just going with the judicial version of I do not recall, which is, it would be inappropriate for me to, bring my personal opinions into a judgment, blah, 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 blah. We all know her personal opinions on this, though. We know what her background and how it would inform these decisions. And the fact that she refused to even comment on that is, yeah, it's exactly Ace. It's like pleading the fifth. It's you admit it by saying that. This is fucked. I mean, women's rights, gay rights. She is not a friend to these communities. And then, that's interesting.
Bear more relation to one another than necessarily free exercise, say. But I think, they are in the First Amendment, and I think that reflects that those were core values, that reflects that the states who ratified the Constitution, the original Constitution, on the understanding that a Bill of Rights,
FYI, she's an originalist, which is terrifying,
would be added, wanted protections like that to be included because they were really core to what the new Americans thought was going to be America.
Yeah, that's a terrible version of that clip. She was asked by Ben Sass to name 5 freedoms protected by the First Amendment. She couldn't do it. She didn't do it. I don't know if she couldn't, but she didn't. When prompted to name the 5 protections provided under the First Amendment, she couldn't do it. So definitely something that is concerning, to say the very least. And for those of you that don't know, religion, speech, press, freedom of assembly, and right to redress, right to petition for redress. Thank you. Thank you, SJ. God, I love having just a community.
Freedoms of the First Amendment.
Speech, religion, press, assembly, religion, assembly. I don't know, what am I missing?
Redress or protest.
Okay.
She's a law professor. She's a law professor who doesn't know the five protected items under the First Amendment of the fucking Constitution. And hey there, Taco. No. I mean, forget all the other stuff. Forget that she's a horrible human being, and forget that she's, a problem. She's problematic to our entire legal system. She doesn't understand the basics. Like, she needs a first-year law class. Yeah, exactly. It's like she needed to take the government class I'm in to refresh her memory. She needs a first year law class. Like, she literally needs like a basic civics class, apparently. And this is a woman who's apparently a law professor. Of course, 500, was it 500 or 1,500 of her fellow graduates fucking said she has no business doing this. Yeah, it was 1,500. It was 1,500 from the Rhodes College sounded off saying they're firmly and passionately opposed to the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett. Like, no, she is not qualified for this, let alone someone we want in there. And we'll circle around to this. Yep. SJW, that is exactly part of the problem. I talk about the federal judges all the fucking time that they packed. And it's, yeah, Trump technically appointed it, but if you want to know who's responsible for those 300 federal judges that they packed, see Mitch McConnell. That's who ultimately is responsible for that process. It's the GOP in general, but definitely headed up by Mitch McConnell. He is the one who has sort of helmed the process of running those through. Yeah. So good luck. Even if we pull back the Senate and the House and the presidency, we have a judicial system now that has been stacked with Mitch McConnell approved judges, and they get lifetime appointments. So we're going to be dealing with this for the rest of our lives. So good luck, folks. Do I need to say more? Like, is the headline enough? Canada's last intact ice shelf broke off. It took our research station with it. There you go. I'm sure that's not a problem, right? All right, Zero, get into voice chat if you want. Those are the headlines I want to talk about. Yeah, oh yeah, Ace, it's funny, but not funny. Like, I have a very gallows sense of humor, you know that. Like, I think it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. But, I have a dark gallows sense of humor because you have to, because everything is fucked. I couldn't imagine being an optimist, half glass full, like, golden retriever sort of, like, I couldn't imagine being that in today's day and age. Like, look around. Look at what this looks like. I couldn't imagine having that outlook. Yes, exactly, Brooke. Climate change is a Democratic hoax. Of course, just like COVID. SJ, conservatives are good at one thing and one thing only, rigging the game. They're good at a few things, actually. I'll give them credit where credit's due. They're good at more than that, but I will not deny they're exceedingly good at undermining and rigging the political system. That they do excel at. What's it, Zero?
So I got a few interesting things in addition to things you've already mentioned. So do you want to start on if we want to discuss stuff?
I love that, Ace. I'm a pessimistic optimist. I view the negative in all the positive. Let's have a bunch of fucking hugs on that one. It's fucking. I still remember the first time Ace walked into one of my streams, and I was on some anti-police rant, and Ace was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna like it here." We bonded over our.
You want to hear what I call myself for that? Want to hear my joke based on that?
Go for it.
I got it. Okay, I'm a pessimist. I don't care if the glass is half full or half empty. It's full of cat piss.
Fair enough. It's
Yeah.
is a is it a comic panel that is, it's not cat pissed. Yeah, Ace, I felt right at home. But I do remember that somebody wrote that one, that fucking, an optimist says it's half full, pessimist says it's half empty, and then there's just a third guy looking at the glass. He goes, "It's piss, isn't it?" So what do you got? What do you got, Zero?
First of all, what is so what your ideal form of democracy be? I assume you believe do you believe in democracy as a governmental system, even if it's anarchism based?
Yeah, I mean, it depends at what step. See, this is the thing. We have to talk about progressive steps, right? There is no and shit changes tomorrow. So you have to take those sort of half steps and, quarter steps and that sort of thing. I would definitely implement some sort of direct democracy with back checks in it. So yeah, something along those lines. It would definitely would not involve, forgive me, it definitely would not involve an electoral college.
Oh God, no.
And it would probably consolidate parliamentary houses into a singular entity, rather than having the landed gentry class of senators versus the peasant class of representatives. I would like to see a more unified, sort of single house parliamentary system that is not representative, though you could use that term to describe it, but delegate based. And you would have you would have forced rotation, you would have immediate recalls, you would have limited mandates, you would have, there would be a whole host of policy checks that we would put into place on that as well.
Would you have a president? Or a prime minister, or whatever you use for that term?
No.
I agree. I actually have a interesting idea. It would so I have my idea is less based in the idea of reforming the legislative and the parts of parliament basically. My idea is more based in actual voting specifically. So first step for me would be obviously abolish the electoral college. That thing's bullshit. It's so bullshit that sorry, about 10 votes, about I think maybe almost 13 in the 2016 election were changed. It didn't represent the vote. Someone just decided, okay, I don't want to vote for Hillary, so they changed the electoral guy, voted for someone else, and that person happened to be the first Native American ever to get a seat. But the thing is, it didn't matter that she had a seat because that's one seat out of 200.
Oh yeah.
I don't get the idea of it being an entire state voted something. Let me change that, or you know what I mean.
And yeah, we're getting comments as well about first past the post has to go, ranked voting has to come in, that sort of stuff.
Well, actually, I don't like ranked voting.
Why not?
I personally just think that it might not work as I don't think it offers the same freedom as approval voting. I believe in approval voting.
It's worked fairly.
Is that a bit strange?
I mean, it's not an opinion I've come across that often, quite frankly. But
it's a bit of a base take. Huh? Not even base, but it's just unusual. Can I explain it?
If you wish.
Yeah. So basically, my ideal society, my ideal form of government. First of all, Democratic and Republican would not be the only parties. I'd actually ideally have about 6 parties. That way, basically, that's a way. My main goal, besides removing the electoral college, is to have proportional democracy and to remove strategic voting, because I view that as a huge burden on democracy.
I think you'd end up having the same long-term problems that a lot of them have anyway.
Italy? Like Italy?
I think you'd end up seeing a consolidation of power bases and coordination of power bases amongst certain liked interests amongst those parties. I would attempt, now whether it would be successful or not is a whole other matter, but I would attempt to go for a partyless system.
like that might be where I'd go eventually, but I think I'd start with six parties. And like my goal isn't exactly to reach a specific point. My goal is like one thing that a lot of people forget when they're talking about policies is that enacting policies is not the like let's say you're not going to be president forever, unless of course you started a dictatorship or you've got a term limits, both which are a bit too authoritarian for my tastes. You're probably going to like be out of power. So my like if I was president for 8 years, I would probably put a lot of focus into cultural changes, like things like gay marriage and making sure that those were fully accepted in society, and also like a lot of what people learn nowadays are like comes from when they're very very young, from cartoons and from television. Do you agree with that?
To an extent.
Yeah, I'd argue that like in terms of nature versus nurture, a whole lot of things. It's really surprising actually how much of people's political views do come from their origin from things they watch when they're a kid. So I'd actually maybe not like I wouldn't try and turn it into propaganda. My goal would be to make it to try and um basically make it so that actually that like culture is that basically that we move away from a patriarchal type culture in entertainment. And I believe that would have a very distinct long term effect. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Just as if you're only in power for 8 years or even 4, you need like people who are in power tend to forget that the next person to come on is very likely to be from a different party and very likely to try and reverse everything you did. Which is kind of why Trump is trying to appoint all these people right before he gets kicked out. So if you can do that in a way, if you can do something like that in a way that's a lot more legal and a lot less unconstitutional and less undemocratic, you can actually further your cause. So also another thing I'm thinking of with the six-party system would be the idea behind it wouldn't be simply to eliminate strategic voting, but also have it so that it's not like so they're equally distanced. If it makes any sense. Because basically, like with a two-party system, or let's take Canada for example. You have the NDP, which is basically a social democratic party. The Green Party, which is more environmentalist but a little bit more right-wing economically. Then you have the Liberals, who are centrists, very similar to the Democratic Party, but a bit further left in some ways, specifically when it comes to like political correctness and such. And then you have the Conservatives, which are a bit further left than the Republican Party. And then you got that new party that just came around, the PPC, People's Party of Quebec. They're basically the Republicans, but they haven't even got a single seat in the last election. So it's not too big of a problem. So do you see the issue with that? They're all different sizes. Like Liberal Party's biggest, then Conservatives, then NDP, then Green. Then you got like the Quebec parties, which are basically they're very weird. They're very anti-immigration and very racist. But they're also like they're also left-wing economically and nationalist. You get kind of like a little bit worrisome type of political leanings. So what I'm saying is like that you got all these different sized parties, and it kind of leads to very similar results every election, despite the vast different amounts of parties. So, and that's kind of because of strategic voting to an extent. Like in polls, people are willing to vote NDP, but they don't specifically like Liberal, but they choose it because it's the middle ground. So that's why I think approval voting would work better even in a system without like actually properly distanced parties. Because like so imagine if you're the average person who votes Democrat and you're in a party with several different extra parties. And wait, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just making sure because every time I'm in a chat, I just get kicked out of the chat and then I don't notice and I've spoken for 5 minutes. So basically, like what?
Well, no. Okay, so a couple of things. CAD proposes anarcho-bureaucratism, which, well, a series of independent councils process the decision making. That would be federated delegation, basically, which is, first step under anarcho-syndicalism. So I'm with you, Kat. And Taco wants to know, yes, yeah, me try. You read me uncomfortably well, Mitre.
Mitre is great.
Taco asking, have you heard of liquid democracy?
Not really. I've heard the term, but I've never actually had it described to me.
It's
I'm not on Twitch chat right now. I'm just talking through Discord right now. So if he puts it in text, or if you know, you can tell me.
all right. Basically, it's a mix between direct democracy and delegation democracy, in which people can vote for delegate or direct within the same system.
So like my only problem with that is that first of all, like in democracy, not everyone's specifically politically active, and one of the main goals for me in any type of democratic system is to get the most people voting without making it legally
but that
required.
would be the
And making it that complicated might not help.
No. Okay, so basically the way liquid democracy works is you can vote for a representative or you can vote directly. So much like how they
Directly on
Yes. So
on issues specifically?
Yeah. So you can be the active participant or you can delegate your authority.
So if you delegate your authority by voting for a representative, that representative basically like you don't get any more you don't get to vote directly then.
Correct. But you can under the most, theoretically you can put a recall methodology into that as well, so you can retract that.
Yeah. That kind of to me seems like a really strange middle ground between the two that has the negatives of both. So I don't really like it. Like, it still gives power to representatives, saying that I don't specifically like, but at the same time, it also has the pitfalls. It just like direct democracy can make democracy more complicated, and in doing it that way, I don't know if that. I think it would lead to a lot of checks and balances that would really reduce efficiency. I don't know if it's really. I think it kind of like, it's kind of like a very. It tries to appeal to everyone. I'm not sure if that would really appeal to anyone per se. Well, some people, but I don't see it as really.
I'm with Mitre, even as an anarchist, for mandatory voting.
Well, I'm kind of for mandatory voting. I'm not sure. The problem is that I'm pretty sure it would lead to actual riots, because it seems like people in America really like to riot about things that don't matter. I'm not saying that like masks. Masks do matter, but you know what I mean.
Kat pointing out that efficiency shouldn't be the point, really.
Well, to me, what I mean by efficiency is the efficiency of democracy to get things done on time, rather than waiting till like the 2020s, and rather than waiting to the 2010s to make gay marriage legal, stuff like that. Like, to me, efficiency in democracy is more like the speed at which social development happens.
So, I mean, I'm a fan of federated delegation. With let's see, Sue saying, "Well, people riot over things that don't matter?" ?
Well, by rioting over things that don't matter, I'm specifically talking about things like I was referring to like people rioting over being forced to wear masks. Those kinds of people would definitely riot over being forced to vote. Things that don't matter. By which I think it would be
one of the funniest riots we've ever had.
It would be, and we already had some pretty funny riots.
So and Mitre pointing out that Australia has mandatory voting. And they've had multiple.
Tell me about how that works.
They've had multiple issues with it, because I remember following the history of your guys' mandatory voting, because it's fucking hilarious. They instituted mandatory voting back in the day, a while back, and to do so, you have to make it a national holiday. So they made it a national holiday, and Australians did what Australians do with a national holiday.
Oh, fuck.
And so they started partying their asses off and showing up to the polls drunk on the regular. And so then they had
to they kept on putting the wrong vote.
Yeah, so they had to they instituted then sort of other checks and balances to the process, and they sorted it out. It took a few years through the process.
It's problem bureaucracy. You make one mistake, it takes years to fix.
But I mean, and yeah, Taco, if you don't vote, it's just a $50 fine. I would make that a percentage scaling system.
Perhaps I'd agree with that. I believe bail should also be percentage based.
I would do it with
bail even should exist.
Yeah, no, bail shouldn't exist. Yeah, exactly. Ace would laugh hysterically while watching with her wine and popcorn over the riot against mandatory voting. I would too. I'd be sitting out there with a fucking joint, just laughing my ass off.
Well, I'd vote a few days early, and then I'd watch the protest. I'd make sure that I got in there on time, of course.
Oh, I have. Is it?
It's a joke.
Somewhere down there. I have the. Hang on. Let's. There it is. All right, I have it. Here's the Las Vegas won. Fucking there. Yeah, my ballot receipts for Nevada, because Nevada's been doing mail-in ballots for ages. We're good at it. We're one of those states that I can jump on a website and track my ballots progress through the mail even. So
That's a joke.
we're really good at that one.
Yeah. So
So
you're really good at mail-in voting fraud?
we have very few incidents of that outside the Republican Party.
I don't believe in mail-in voting fraud. I don't like. It's really stupid that even,
Other than,
like the
you know.
idea that that's that widespread.
So all right. Okay. I don't think the majority of people want a level of involvement I think is necessary, hence why I advocate as the sort of half-step measure, a federated delegate system, which is different than representative democracy, because you would have wouldn't mandatory voting make it you would have limited mandates, you would have immediate recalls, you would have sovereignty in that system can't be separated from the local assemblies, and so you have these sort of multiple steps of committees and delegates throughout the entirety of the system and process, all of which are answerable to their electorate at a sort of moment's notice.
Sounds like extremely heavy bureaucracy in order to fix an issue that could be solved otherwise.
Except you can't. We already know you. Like, I mean, look at everybody who's tried the various versions of this. You have to put in stopgaps and checks and balances, and every 10 years or so, you have to go revamp them because somebody's found a new way around them. This is just human nature. It's not
simplifying law.
It's not a battle we're ever going to win. It's just a series of battles we have to continue to fight.
Yeah.
So
that I think that I have a really hot take if you want to hear it.
Feel free.
I believe that like about half of the laws that exist need to be simplified or removed.
That's fine.
And that's not even me being an anarchist. I'm not an anarchist. I'm kind of a libertarian, which I just believe that that civil liberties should exist to the extent that they don't harm anyone else's civil liberties or their health in general. For example, I see masks needing to be mandatory because if you don't wear them, you're probably going to spread the fucking plague.
Let's see.
She
survived the no confidence vote, boys. The Australian contingent is talking Australian politics, and so yes, she survived the no confidence vote.
Why was there no confidence vote?
Corruption, bribery, that sort of standard policy.
Standard.
Wouldn't mandatory voting make it more available to people who at the moment can't vote or choose to not vote? Sue, that is kind of the idea behind it. Is
yeah, but what if someone actually can't vote on that day due to it?
There's all sorts. That's straw man territory. There's all sorts of.
Yeah, I know it's straw man territory.
Well, then don't do it. It's a logical fallacy, and it's not a valid. It's arguing a bad faith, so don't do it. Kat saying, B-Tray saying bureaucracy isn't always bad. That means sometimes people working together and compromising as a result. Kat pointing out that there should be a party called Non-Vote that just constantly shitposts and produces debauchery for people that don't vote in this system.
That sounds so lovely, but I still don't think it should exist.
Yeah, and Taco saying you can do early voting here, and if you tell them, and you can get out of the fine with a valid reason. There's no big deal about that.
It is only $50, which is kind of weird.
It's just an incentive.
Yeah.
I do believe I just heard my package arrive. I think I heard my doorbell off in the distance.
Okay, well, if you have to get that, I can continue a bit about voting.
All right, Kat.
You don't want to leave me in charge of your chat?
Well, Kat can pull you off of fucking air in an instant, and
yeah, if I just start talking about
I'll be right back.
I don't know, horrible shit. Anyway, so hey chat. Now I'm the main guy on stream. Anyway, so So basically, one thing that I don't really think mandatory voting is a good idea, even though like I know a lot of people who do, and I don't see it as like my problem with it isn't that it's authoritarian; it's that it's unnecessary. Like for example, I'm anti-gun. I believe that anything up to all auto-loading firearms should be illegal, like for cops and for people, for cops and for civilians. I'm not sure what term I'd use there. Like basically anything except for revolvers and bolt action should be illegal. And but when it comes to like voting, I think there's a better way to go around it, which can to incentivize it basically, which would kind of be trying to make anyone's beliefs are followed by a specific party. Like that's kind of why I'd want 6 party: Socialist Party, Soc Dem Party, Left Libertarian, Right Libertarian, a like centrist type party, and a Republican Party. Yes, the Republicans would be the furthest right because we don't want no fucking Nazi party. Anyway, so like I feel like mandatory voting. It might work in Australia, but I don't think it would work in America, honestly.
Um,
I feel like Australia's is a lot more receptive to that kind of thing than America. Hey, guy.
let's see. I can go down there. Yeah, Cat, the justified anarchist hierarchy has revealed itself. Devil horns. And Sue saying your Twitch
What?
fame is in the hands of Cat. I trust Cat with that, so I'm not
Yeah.
bothered by that in the least.
Hey, also, I didn't start spouting Nazi propaganda. Also, that's a reference.
So I'm just
You know what the reference is to?
nope, not necessarily.
It was the first anti like what was it? The first I think it was anti weed like propaganda type thing, and it basically had a Mexican guy smoking weed as he said Nazi propaganda.
Mm.
So that's basically where I get that from.
Let's see. Is there anything else in here? Oh, okay, there is. I just gotta wonder about these fucking boxes and shit. It's like, is there anything in the bottom that I need to pull out before
You have no idea how many boxes I get.
Let's see. Oh, it's Apple packaging. It's fairly painless.
Amazon's a lot worse. You ever heard of Amazon Vine?
No.
I'll tell you about it. It's really interesting. Like it's basic like Amazon is a big company and they need reviews done. So basically, if you do a lot of reviews on the site, they can randomly select you for Amazon Vine, which if you accept, you get a bunch of free items that you have to review, and you review them objectively. And I got lucky and got into that. And basically, you just review items, and then you get to keep the items, and you're allowed to sell them. Hello?
Yep, I'm here. I'm just
Sorry,
playing. I'm just playing with my new
Your mic's
toy.
very sensitive. That's all.
SJ, thanks, man. If you're going off to your stream, have a good one.
Oh, I gotta follow him. Can you shout out him in chat?
Mitre, you know what it is. There we go. So yeah, Mitre already knows what this is.
But what is? Sorry, I'm not in Twitch right now.
Yeah, playing with my tutorial. Mitre, no. I just got my Apple AirPod Pros.
You.
So.
Apple is just a no for me. No.
Oh yeah, let's go with Google instead.
No, not Google. Android.
Yeah, good luck with that. That code base is a problem to start with. So who's your phone manufacturer? Samsung?
Yeah.
There you go. They're a military contractor even. Like they build weapons of war. So
They also make good phones.
your compromise is, oh, well, fuck that one company that, makes overpriced phones. I'm going to go with this other overpriced company that builds bombs and battleships. I mean, come on. Your moral high ground is basically non-existent.
The thing is, there's no need for a moral high ground. The thing is, dude, everyone, do you wear clothes?
No.
Then I guess you've broken TOS a whole lot. Legitimately, though, if you've ever worn clothes from a Walmart, you've already lost moral high ground.
No, I don't shop at
It is almost
Walmart.
impossible to be a person in a Western society and have any fucking moral high ground.
Well, that's because there's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Well, not under capitalism, under unethical capitalism, yes. Under the form of capitalism that allows for wage slave labor, yeah. But I don't think capitalism is inherently allowing of slave labor.
Sure it is.
Capitalism as a concept does not like.
Sure.
I don't like it when people describe capitalism as either great when they're fucking idiot right-wingers or as horrible, because it doesn't accurately. A concept like that, a concept such as fascism is inherently racist, correct? A concept such as capitalism is inherently classist, also correct. But it isn't. It does not inherently lack ethics.
Yep, we got more people saying they don't wear clothes. Hashtag ethics.
That's funny because like you're just lying to keep the moral high ground. Well, not literally, more of as a joke.
Okay, so
Seriously, what I'm saying is like, first of all, it's kind of the same reason I'm okay with eating meat, but I still support lab-grown meat. Does that make any sense?
sure, yeah.
I believe that the support of stopping something is more important than the actual like how companies always are like asking people to remove their carbon footprint, and when actually the companies are doing the vast majority of the damage. It's kind of like that. I'm not. It's not that I'm excusing myself from it. It's that I believe that the honest. I kind of see it as a minuscule thing compared to the actual things that can be stopped.
And Mitre
I
said,
still do.
Mitre said,
What?
thanks for explaining the bit, Zero.
What do you mean?
He's saying you ruined
Oh.
the joke because you explained the joke.
I'm sorry. Not.
Oh Jesus, you just unironically said not.
I did.
Kat says it has
not.
its own internal ethics that just don't jive with ours, saying that capitalism inherently relies on the theft of surplus labor value for profit is just a statement of fact.
That's a little bit biased and a little bit not objective. I don't inherently disagree with it, but I don't agree with it either.
Kat, feel free
Kind
to
of
Kat, feel free to join us on air and argue your point.
Yeah, join us. I don't mind it being debated. I don't mind people disagreeing with me as long as they're not using ad hominem. I don't mind it at all. I don't go on to streams so that people can pat me on the back. Well, I kind of do, but not always. Like, you know. Yeah, let's debate this stuff.
Yeah, exactly, Mitre. Because I'm not, not up to it today.
What did he say?
Cat's on his way.
Oh god, I feel like a chud. I'm just walking into a trap.
Cat is my chosen champion, as it were. When I don't feel like doing things, Cat is the one who
Should
steps
I be afraid?
up. It depends how high he is.
Wait, if he's high, it's worse?
No.
Okay.
No, if he's
if he's high, he's less effective. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, if he's sober, you're screwed.
Fuck. I am a half decent debater. At least I'm almost always in good faith, unless it's someone I really don't like, or unless I'm debating a literal Nazi. I generally just get rid of the good faith when that happens.
There's that. All right. Mitre's telling you to breathe.
Why?
Because you don't ever stop for taking a breath.
That's kind of how I speak.
Cat,
ADHD, buddy.
the floor is yours.
Oh god.
All right, sweet. So,
Cat, you're gonna demolish the libtard now?
oh no, I'm just curious
joking,
as
I'm
to
joking,
like what
I'm
you
joking.
mean when
Well, I believe that there are very few ideologies that explicitly support something that isn't in their definition. I believe that there are some that do, like fascism is inherently racist. I don't believe fascism is based. I believe fascism is somewhat based on classism, but mostly based on nationalism, which is itself based on racism. But when it comes to capitalism,
So
I
there
don't think
could
it's
never-
inherently unethical.
there could never be global fascism then?
I think global fascism is a bit of an oxymoron, actually. Yeah.
Huh.
I think global fascism could be better described as a world dictatorship.
Right. But I guess the thing is that like when I say that I would say that like for example like hyper totalitarian creditocracies could exist, and that
Yeah.
would be like kind of fascism incarnate, but that would
Yeah,
be
it would be,
global.
but it wouldn't be the same. Like, for example, if Germany took over all the world, I think it might cease to be fascist within the definition.
Kat, can you get a little closer to your microphone or something like that?
Anyway, sorry, I
Wait a
didn't mean
second.
to back off track into fascism. The
Right.
debate's probably about capitalism.
Right. But yeah, I guess the thing is that like capitalism, like at its core, relies upon the extraction of surplus labor value, which means that it's always going to be inherently exploitative. Like, there's no way to
Exploitative,
generate profit.
yes.
Right. So because of that, there's no way to
There are ways
generate
to
profit.
generate profit without it being exploitative. Exploitative and unethical are similar, but they are not the same.
And I guess I just
You can
my thing is
exploit a
that I'm just
mine
not
without being unethical.
I'm sorry,
just not
what can
sure
you
if, like-
exploit without being unethical?
Natural resources.
No, that's unethical.
Yeah.
Trees. Is it unethical to chop down a tree?
Depends in which nature in what way you do it. But yeah, I mean, wholesale clear cutting is unethical.
Wholesale clear cutting and cutting down a tree are very different things.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Ooh, it works.
A tree and a forest are different things.
Well, I am
That's like-
I'm a tree hugger from way back, and I've got to tell you, it bothers me every time somebody cuts down a tree.
Well, okay, what would you suggest as an alternative to wood?
Hemp.
It's more sustainable.
Why is there a difference between one type of natural growth and another type of natural growth?
Because one is more sustainable and more renewable, and it takes much longer to get an old growth tree. Simple calculus says me gives a mature tree contributes more to the ecological cycle than a crop of hemp does.
You got a point there. Honestly, I'm gonna have to yield that point.
All right, so how do I?
Don't think I'm gonna be able to argue with that without actually advocating for clear cut tree cutting and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I guess
like
Oh, my bad.
sorry, it's all right. So I'll just finish this and then I'll let you speak.
Yeah.
So basically, my view on like capitalism not being inherently unethical is that there are ways to have a form of ethical capitalism. They haven't really even explored yet. Just like we haven't ever had an authoritarian regime without it being fucking hugely unethical either. Like, I believe that capitalism in reality has almost always been unethical. Well, has always been unethical. There has never been an ethical capitalist society. But I believe that through the definitions of capitalism, that capitalism as a concept, which is a very wide concept, is not inherently unethical. And that's why I'm a Soc Dem in practice and a democratic socialist at heart.
I guess I just have
Because
to
I don't
ask
see-
what does ethical capitalism look like? Because
Well,
I always
Well, actually, I
just
can
come
actually
back
answer
to
that really
how-
well.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
ideal
it's
society
just-
would be a form of ethical capitalism. Like, first thing I have to say is my explanation for why I believe capitalism is better than socialism. Like, assuming that both of them were ethical, why I prefer capitalism to socialism. I'm not saying that capitalism as it is good. Just making sure that you know that.
I guess to preface, are you trying to find a way to justify theft?
No,
Right? Then how do you?
I believe in
defend the-
capitalism is possible without theft.
Well, I mean, I guess just like how do you defend the profit motive then, and like the way that we produce commodities under capitalism, because that
We
is
could produce commodity-
inherently
okay.
based on theft.
Would you agree that most forms of it are based on scarcity?
To an extent, you could
Yeah.
have
I believe it-
post-scarcity
okay.
capitalism.
My ideal form of capitalism would be an economy based on abundance rather than scarcity.
Right, but what I'm saying is that like then the modes of capitalism would be even more unethical. Because why?
Sorry, what?
Well, I feel that that would make capitalism even more unethical because the main justification for capitalism is due to scarcity.
Well, I believe that to me, capitalism is simply an economy that's market that is focused on profit.
Right, and the reason why capitalism is justified in the eyes of, say, the movements of classical liberalism, Kant and blah blah blah, that they all viewed capitalism as a means of doling out resources to those that are worthy in a society that has a finite amount of resources to go around. It's like that's the main justification for the exploitation and theft that occurs under capitalism.
Yeah, that's not my explanation for it. I don't. First of all, like honestly, the way I describe ethical capitalism sounds a bit less like capitalism and more like some sort of weird niche ideology. Like have you ever heard of like what Kickstarter is and all that? So imagine applying that to all of the economy, paying for things as not as much as they like not as much as as they cost, like not having the company decide, but having it be based on how much you're willing to pay, basically.
So like some sort of voluntarism.
Yeah. That would be an ideal society. It wouldn't ever exist per se. I don't think
All
I
right.
think that wouldn't really
I
exist,
just want
but
to
it would be
say,
ideal.
I like my new AirPod Pros.
Nice.
They're good.
I'm happy for you guys.
You know,
I love how we're debating anarchism and capitalism, and you're just like, I love my new AirPods.
I ain't even gone to the anarchism, to be fair.
they're good products.
I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm just curious as to like where this ideology goes, because
It's just I have some strange, really weird takes for someone who considers themselves a sock dem.
Taco wants to know if you reject the labor theory of value, or whether you know what the labor theory of value is, and do you reject it?
I know what it is, and I reject it.
oh, well, why? Because that's kind of core to my argument. Because I would say that due to the labor theory of value, there isn't really an effective
How is
way
it core to your
to
argument? Sorry.
Well, the labor theory of value posits that but for any sort of commodity to be produced, there is a minimum amount of time that is required to actually time laboring that is required to produce it, and that's what gives it its value. Thus,
I don't think the labor to produce a value makes it worth anything. I believe that you could work for hours on a little carving of something, and it would only be worth the amount that its utility. I believe in like a sort of utility based value system.
right, but there's still a minimum amount of labor needed there to create
Of
any
course
of
there
these
is,
commodities.
but I don't think the labor itself. Okay, I don't believe the labor itself defines how much it's worth, though.
Hmm.
I
I believe the labor is
that's
almost
not
irrelevant to its worth.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't think that's a way to disprove the fact that labor's the core part of what generates value.
Well, I still don't
Like,
see labor
obviously,
as
there's
core
going
to
to be,
it.
well, without the labor,
I,
the commodity ceases to exist.
of course, that is true.
Right. So there's no way around the fact that you're going to need some minimum amount of labor to create value
But
in
it could be automated labor, which would then
right,
be
but
simply a matter of cost to do something, which creates more.
right, but that cost has to be generated somehow, and that's usually through labor. There's also the fact that you have to maintain these machines that work through automation. You have to have people that are engineering these things. You have to have people that are constantly making sure that they're still performing to their maximum efficiency. Then of course, if we're talking in the future, there'd have to be programming that goes into it. Like, there's a lot of labor that goes into automation.
There is labor. I'm not disagreeing with that. There is labor embedded in the economy. My idea is that labor itself does not contribute to the value of an object. An object can be worth like you could have equal labor for an object and it still be worth more than the other object without
Well,
it
of
being
course.
arbitrary.
Yeah, and that usually occurs due to fluctuations in the market. But the point is that
Not
I don't
necessarily
think
due to fluctuations, due to the actual utility. Like for example, I believe that okay, sorry, I believe that much of the market is arbitrary, and that like at least in terms of prices. But if it were not to be, then let's say you have a TV screen, they're identical, one's slightly bigger than the other. The bigger TV screen might be worth more than the other, but I wouldn't say that's not because it was more difficult to make, but because it has more utility. Any object with more utility has a higher value.
right, but that gets into like how do you even define utility to begin with? And
Well, I define utility to which to the effect that it can be used, in a way of in several ways. In the ways of creating more profit, which would be a form of investment, which is kind of how I see. Like, I see it almost as a numbers thing, basically,
Right, but it just,
from a mathematical standpoint.
I guess my thing is
Like,
like it's still, I don't feel that this quite disproves the labor
it doesn't
theory of
disprove
value.
it per se, but it's my sort of theory of value. Like, I'm not sure. I kind of remember finding out. I think once I discovered like what the name for this theory was, but I don't remember it right now. I'd have to look it up.
Interjection. Mitre and Taco both want to point out that as we increasingly become the product with advertisers as the actual customer, our engagement alone becomes the labor.
Right, and that gets into the whole theory of social capital, and thus how we can view interactions between individuals as a form of like social labor, and that's like a whole thing within itself.
That's insane. Yes, I believe that essentially I think the idea of customer and seller is somewhat flawed in our current society. That it doesn't really work anymore.
Of course, but I guess I just failed to make the gap that would then, basically.
Well, if I could disprove the labor theory of value, it wouldn't be much of a theory of value anymore, would it?
Well, it would basically single-handedly dismantle all of leftist ideology if you could do that.
Which I'm not going to do, obviously, because I can't.
Right.
It's weird. It's weird how you're asked I just as much as I cannot disprove that, you cannot disprove my theory of value. Well, at least
I'm not even trying to.
I know you're not.
Theory of value is only concerned with how value is generated and thus how capitalism creates profit. That's like the main thing.
I got you.
If I wanted to disprove your theory, then I'd have to get into decommodification of commodity, dismantling the commodity form, and thus dismantling any sort of market economies, and then how we proceed from there. But that's I'm not equipped to have that conversation. It's just that what I'm mainly bucking against is the idea of ethical capitalism, because capitalism at its core relies upon theft.
I disagree with that statement. That specific statement I disagree with.
Okay, so let me walk you through the syllogism. There's an employee working at a firm. He produces a widget that is worth $10. So, every hour he can produce $10. In a capitalist firm, the firm will, of course, take some money off of, each t-shirt that he makes to, keep the business running, whether it's bills, rent, blah, blah, blah. But the lion's share of that value will go to the capitalist, and then the capitalist will then dole out wages to make sure that the employees can sustain themselves outside of work. That system relies upon theft of labor value. And, that's essentially how I view value to be generated under capitalism. Yeah, essentially a firm
So you see profit as the cause of theft, sort of.
Profit is the theft.
There can't be profit without theft.
Profit
I disagree with that.
Profit is the theft. That's the point.
Profit is okay. If you have a machine doing labor, then it doesn't have the same rights as an individual, unless we're going to get into that, which we are not. Okay.
Well, somebody has to run those machines. That doesn't mean the theft.
Not necessarily. There are AIs can run machines nowadays. We're talking potentially even in the future.
Somebody has to write the code. Somebody has to maintain the machines.
Okay, you write the code, and is that equivalent to all the labor the machine ever does?
You could actually make that argument. Yeah, you could say that it's like a multi.
I wouldn't make that argument.
Well, I'm saying you could make that. You could make the argument that the machines are simply a multiplier of the programmer's labor. Okay. Which is the argument for automation, even in a social society.
Okay. Then what about selling your own services?
Like self-management?
Yeah.
Well, you'd still have to.
How is that theft? How do you steal from yourself?
Well, you don't necessarily steal from yourself, but you steal from the supply chains.
Yeah, give it time, but.
Like, for example, if I wanted to knit my own sweaters, I'd have to get the wool from somewhere, and there's no guarantee that the wool that I'm getting is run by another individual source that isn't stealing from anybody else. And then, of course, there's the whole
I don't know if you've ever seen the movie
argument, stating that
what is it called?
you know, the animals are laborers too,
It
but I don't want to
follows.
get into vegan ethics.
I don't want to get into that either. Personally, I believe that animal rights exist to the extent to which they're possible. Like personally, I believe that cows, for example, should not be domesticated too much anymore. Like maybe
Music in it,
potentially
like
for
a
milk,
lot of,
but not for
like
meat because
classic,
that
like horror
specifically
movie
because that
vibes.
uses like
It's good.
99% of our
This
grain.
reminds me a lot of that
You
movie,
could
Which
argue
is
like quite a bit
a
actually.
vegan could like clap.
Like legit, like this is some like
We're-
serial killer.
We're not
like,
mentioning
behind
that
the
they're still
shower curtain
going,
type
and
shit.
I'm listening to SJW right now. He's
I just want to let it ride out. We'll get you the stream. Just be patient. We're gonna let this ride out.
like he's got some drama or
It's
something.
probably like, what the fuck is he doing? These are how the streams start. They usually start
Like,
weird.
if
you
I had
really
the
watch the
option
shit
of
on
living in a
YouTube, you
society
miss
where-
all this stuff. Okay, it's over now.
Like
Okay.
his show got blasted out as SJW 9000 is talking to the haters, and
I
now
want
it's
to do a
called
few things
addressing
on this
my
one.
fans.
As you can tell by the title, we are going to be addressing my fans. Just to give you a little bit of context,
Create your
over
own
the last
commodities.
24 hours, I became infamous, I guess. I posted one of the
Music.
segments that I did from the stream on YouTube, and then I posted it on Reddit as well, and a few different subreddits that I follow, and one of them is BreadTube. If you
Jesus.
don't already and you're a lefty, you should go, follow the BreadTube subreddit. It's really good. It's a lot of cool creators in there, and it's very educational. I've been learning a lot since hanging around there. That being said,
Pretty much like
apparently the video that I did on Lauren Chen got a lot of reactions to it. Actually, it was a couple of videos. It was like a series of 3 videos that I did. It was all from that same stream, I believe, and each one had more like audience interaction and views than like anything I had put out up until this point. So I don't know if I just caught people on a good day, like people were just opening to
Proposes
listen
the
to
alternative to capitalism, specifically like
other content
specific type
creators
of
that they might
socialism
not
with
normally
YouTube's.
well, I mean, I'm an
some-
anarcho-syndicalist, so that's somewhere that I could start, but that's like a whole different conversation.
All right.
within
Oh
itself.
wait, hang on. I'm not talking to them
Because
either.
Anarcho-syndicalism doesn't necessarily deconstruct the commodity form, at least not explicitly.
It doesn't.
All right,
Right.
all right, boys. Pause, and I'll bring you into this.
You got to be patient. Bear with me. We're getting there.
SJW is on stream right now.
But because I
And
a
he's
lot
got
of
some drama
exposure
bullshit.
in
I don't
a
know.
low amount of time, it brought out a lot of positive. I want to say first, like a lot of people were really cool and very encouraging, had nice things to say. Then there was another contingent that was not that. We'll say that at least. They were definitely not that other thing. But I want to show you. I want to show you what happened here. Okay, so we're gonna go over to Reddit.
God, he
and
uses
we're gonna
light
scroll
theme.
down. Now, this is the BreadTube
God,
subreddit.
you
YouTube's
fucking
good. Like I
maniac.
said, again, go follow it,
Jesus.
check it out. It's good.
That's more unethical than capitalism.
And we're just gonna go. We're gonna
That was
leave
a
it sorted
joke.
by what's hot, and
Yeah,
we're gonna just
no,
start
I know.
scrolling down.
Um,
See some good,
good.
content in there. The Humanist Report. It's a good channel.
Yeah, get to the point, SJ.
More
Yeah,
good
seriously.
content. Got Hassan in there.
He had something kind of sort of blow up on Reddit.
Bad and Panada.
Really heated.
And
Is it blocked getting
Me.
shit on again?
me. I did this.
Oh,
With 1.2 thousand upvotes. Holy shit.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I don't know if it was the thumbnail, if it was the content itself. I don't know what it was, but I have to make you guys understand. I am a teeny tiny creator. I've literally been doing this for like
right now.
just over
Yeah.
a month now.
Do it.
And I didn't expect to have anybody actually pay attention to me or what I had to say or anything like that. I guess the whole people say I sound like Joe Rogan thing, maybe that's helping. I don't know.
I do think it
I don't
does.
hear it, but I hear it so much from other people.
What do you
I've
bet
I'll
that-
be right
accepted
back.
it to be true now.
I'll get him into MMA and
Um,
it'll help him way more.
But yeah, my little, like at the time, my like just over 30 subscribers on YouTube channel with my 20 some odd videos that are, you know, just bits and pieces of streams that I've done got a lot of attention. And it was like, holy shit, 129 comments. Let's go look at some.
Man,
Now,
I love seeing leftist content creators
most
grow.
of it is going to be in reference to the video, the content of the video itself. If you haven't watched it, it's almost an hour long, so it's lengthy. But if you're interested, I'd suggest go checking it out. Hey, thanks, Ace. Appreciate the follow. Are you following me, Ace? I know you're over in Kai's stream.
Do it.
So, we have a lot of people, you know, just commenting on homogeneity
I wonder
in
if I can-
societies, dog whistles, ethnostates, all that kind of stuff. Then I got one that was kind of interesting. Let me find it.
I'm just wondering. I want to check something first. Give me 1 sec.
Let me find it.
Alright.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking comments in here. Oh, jeez. See, I said I was a big boy streamer, and I'm not prepared. I didn't have this immediately pulled up. Trey, I'm beating your ass. I am beating your ass. I am blocking you from my chat. You are just now following me, Trey. Holy shit. I feel disrespected. But thank you for the follow.
God damn it,
I do
Metre.
appreciate it. Okay, obviously, holy shit, dude, you sound almost exactly like Joe Rogan. You could do a killer parody. The leftist Joe Rogan podcast win. The pro Rogan experience. I really like that one. I really like that. While you weren't kidding, the speech patterns are very similar too. It's actually insane. Haha, inflection and cadence and everything. People, I do not sound like Joe Rogan. I've watched a lot of Joe Rogan's content back when he was on Fear Factor, his stand-up shit. I do not sound like him. I don't know why everybody think that I do. I don't hear it. It's not the microphone, because I've had people say
Okay.
that. Like, well, maybe
That's
'cause
what
you're
I wanted
using
to
a
check.
condenser mic. No. I
The
have
stream
literally had
ends,
people at my job say
if
this to
I
me,
raid
like,
him.
It's fucking
Damn it.
weird.
Yeah.
And then I'm bald and I smoke weed and I have tattoos and shit. Like yeah, it's I'm never gonna be able to live it down. God damn it, man. Okay, where is the fucking comment? Okay, here we go. So up till this point, everything had been fairly positive. Then I
know,
got the
right, Mitre?
first, one. They said, no offense or anything, but I find this guy to be incredibly boring. And I was like, me? Boring? I don't.
Is it posted on Bread?
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, that's
And
where
I
he
said,
posted it.
button taken. And then
Ah,
I
well,
said,
that's
also, I'm
why,
still
dude.
fairly
Red
new
two are
at
a
this.
bunch of
What do you
elitist
suggest I could do to make
pricks.
my streams more entertaining? I don't want to put people to sleep. And he says, at the risk of sounding like a dick, keep it snappier, especially the intro. I was interested in the premise, but you were taking your sweet time at the start. Excuse me. Or people aren't sure if they're going to watch the whole thing, the whole hour-long thing on. How you don't know the person you're going to criticize. Yeah, I get it. Then later, he said, don't listen to me. You're doing a good job. I just hadn't had my coffee yet, so I decided to be a jerk for a minute. I must have thought I clicked on a cartoon or something and then ended up listening to someone talk about politics. So, this one wasn't the worst comment I've gotten so far. This was actually pretty cool. Like he kind of turned around on it, and I was like, hey, thank you. I appreciate
Does he know
that.
how to use Reddit? He replied to himself.
But if we go over to the YouTubes, it's a bit more dicier over there.
Not everyone's
So,
an experienced
Again,
traveler.
I just want
Brian.
to make you guys understand how
I think we know how threads work by now, though, right?
small I am.
You'd be surprised, dude.
We're only talking about my channel, not dick size. But my YouTube channel, just like my Twitch channel, is in like, or it was in like the 30ish range. Like I had about 30 some odd subscribers on YouTube after about a month of doing this, which I mean is pretty good, I guess. I don't know what metric to use to measure that, but I thought it was pretty good. And in the last 24 hours, I've gained like another 50 some odd subscribers, and it was mainly because of the Lauren Chin video. And just to give you an idea, like
I kind of agree with that original criticism at this point. I'm like, dude, get to the fucking drama. Your fucking thing is called talking to the haters. Your shit is deal with your fans. I want to see the negative comments. Come on, let's do this.
Like I'm
See, this might be,
five
this
likes,
might be
4
a
likes, 2
meta
likes,
big
2 likes,
brain
2 likes, 2 likes, 2
strategy.
likes,
which
3,
is
2
Oh,
valid
no,
at
he
the
started the stream intentionally dragging out a 10-minute window
I'm just, you know,
to troll that one
doing
dude.
a thing and speaking into the void and hoping that somebody
moment.
listens.
Saying he's not
Now,
still
my
doing
first
it,
video
dude.
that actually got
That's-
some kind of
that's
traction.
So I'm going to
Why is this one?
I'm going to it.
18 or older. That's odd.
Give him a
I
dono.
don't know why it's age
Get his
restricted.
attention going.
I think someone did this on purpose.
All right.
Okay.
Done.
Anyway,
Done.
this one was my first one to ever pop off in a significant way. This has like 362 views, 11 likes, you know, only 2 comments, but you know, whatever. And then we were back into the trenches again. 6 views, 16, 4, 96, 64, 20. You know, it was like rare for me to ever break 100. But then fast forward about 2 weeks to where we are now. My anti-mask Karen video, 39 views, 19 comments. The ratio of views to comments is fucking crazy. Then the Lauren Chen video. Biggest video I've done so far, over 1,000 views, 14 comments, 76 likes. I have literally never had anything jump off this big, and I know, like, compared to like other YouTubers and shit, this literally is nothing. But for me, little old me, it's kind of a big fucking deal.
Okay. Now we have the YouTube comments.
But you go to the comments though, and first things first. Apparently, Bad Empanada saw the video and left me a comment, and I was like, "Holy shit, we're in the big leagues now, kids. We did it.
Fuck shit,
We
that
noticed
Bad
me
Empanada's
senpai
like a
these
creep.
motherfuckers, and we did it. So, okay, cool. And then we got the, you know, Joe Rogan's. Somebody here, the state of Georgia is richer per capita than the country of Georgia, but the latter has a much lower crime rates. Wonder why. And I told him, why don't you tell us why you think that is? Which I'd be really interested to see if he actually responds to that. Then it was these people, yada yada yada. Okay. This is good. This is all good stuff. Now we go over to the anti-mask comments. Yeah. Oh, 19. Okay. Yeah. Not so much. Okay. So, first off, here, let's go to the video itself, because the YouTube studio comment thing is fucking weird.
Okay. I went through the comments. There really aren't any truly fun ones. That was a shame.
Nothing too harassing.
I feel clickbaited.
Ha-
I'm going to give SJW shit. I feel clickbaited.
Damn, that's rough.
I wanted somebody in there fucking screaming the N-word at him. I wanted somebody in there fucking talking mad Trump shit. I want, like,
The worst that you're gonna get on BreadTube is saying that, like, this is as lazy as a right-winger's content. The left is better than this. We can make very high-quality fucking insert lib shit here. You know, just fucking, that's the worst you're gonna get on there.
well, I mean, he was looking at his YouTube comments as well.
Oh yeah, that's where the fascists would have shown up.
There's not really that many. I'm looking at them right now.
It's 300 some odd views.
Oh, yeah. No, he's up to 1,100 views on that video.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh damn, look at him.
But there's only, there's... what am I getting notifications for? What is popping off now? Benzel's live and playing video games. And he's named his stream a Lefty Chill stream. I'm a centrist.
Damn it. I'm going for a similar thing while I'm playing Rainbow Six Siege. I think I have it named right now to something along the lines of Ancom becomes a statist. Violates the NAP. Playing right now, by the way, if anybody wants to pop over.
Oh, give us a second. We'll fucking pop over. We're gonna do a little stream crawling. Oh God. Because
Inception.
yeah, a little Inception. We've got who do I hate? Who do I hate? Who's this ad for? McDonald's? I think it's McDonald's. Yep, it's McDonald's. Fuck you, McDonald's.
Is it Travis Scott again?
Nope, it wasn't Travis Scott.
Damn.
And let's see.
That commercial was getting shit on Twitch for a while there, dude. It was funny. It's kind of like Raid Shadow Legends.
There we go. Streamception. Is there game audio? Yeah.
Oh,
there.
is the game audio not coming through?
No. Yeah, it was just quiet there.
Fuck.
This is like fucking skunk spray to somebody like me, Trey. He right now he's like fucking video games.
Oh man.
Benzel.
Like sometimes you just gotta engage in bullshit commodities a little bit.
Yeah, as he says, back to my marking.
See, we're doing him a favor, you know. We cut off his distraction that keeps him from doing his socially necessary labor.
Zero just straight up left.
God damn.
Infecting the floor with convid. You yeah. Don't be trying to get on my good side now. Likewise, they cannot disallow someone in a wheelchair. Convid, yeah. You're just by.
Oof. To all the world's politicians that will be murdered in the next 3 years, I didn't want to pass on that news. Dear PhDs and psychiatrists to be murdered in the next 3 years, I did not want to pass on that news. In July 2001, I smelled weird stuff at the Planet of the Apes movie. Dog smells. Dog smells. Some weird ass random comment.
Anyway. Now,
check your fucking chat. Look at your goddamn chat.
On my own, but I couldn't find anything on this because he just said 2 judges and HIPAA and stores. So I'm
like, dude, like there's a crazy fucker in your chat.
First off, the video that I was on was not even actually about medical exemptions. The stupid bitch in the video just didn't want to wear a fucking mask. Like, that's it. Like, it was she was citing the fucking 1964 Civil Rights Act in the video, saying why she didn't have to wear a mask. It was fucking cringe as fuck, man.
Now he sees it.
Yep. And
just not even gonna touch that.
Yeah. And it was, I even.
Dude, I'd at least pull it from my fucking chat. Like, that's fucking to all the world's politicians that will be murdered in the next 3 years. To all the PhDs and psychiatrists to be murdered. That's weird ass territory that person just strayed into, but it's definitely call for violence territory.
Yeah, that's a minimum ban from the stream.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Like backseat modding.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking, all right.
I wonder what some of the names were, though. I'm curious now.
I like the name, though. Yankee Doodled.
Yankee Doodle?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I do like the name.
Yeah, I fucks with it.
I've already been.
Well, yeah, of course, Trey, but, not really much to do. No, that was the guy's name.
That was his name, Mitra. Yankee Doodled. Oh, there's Benzel.
I guess it's
Come on.
addition.
I found the light, everyone. I'm actually a centrist. So, come on. You can do it, camera. Find me. I'm right here.
Oh.
I found the light. What can I say? What can I say, everyone? Why is my camera blurry? Hey, grow up, camera. I'm right here. Come on.
His camera
I
refuses
found
to
the light,
focus.
everyone. I'm actually a centrist.
This I think is hilarious.
Come on. Come on, you can do it, camera. Find me. I'm right here.
This camera's completely fucked.
Is this a centrist stream? Yes. Leftist king. Well, not anymore. I'm a centrist now. We've discovered that it seems that there's no centrist streams on Twitch. So in order to attract viewers, I've decided to become a centrist. Very simple way. Let's see. We'll change the
Straight up, right at the top. Yep.
auto. There we go. Okay.
That's what
I
we're
figured it
doing.
out. Figured it out. We figured out how to attract the viewers, and it's literally sell out your morals, sell out your politics, become a centrist. For sure, definitely. Unfollow. I'm sorry, M-word MDL. You gotta do what you gotta do in this dog-eat-dog world. What the heck? Good thing this is a centrist stream. The right and the left are bad. My brain is huge. 400.
Hey, there's that Lady Raincloud in Benzel's chat.
Thing, that centrists definitely believe in, for sure. They got, what, 20 arm pumps already off the bat. Do some centrist arm pumps, right? Donate, chat. Bring it back. Wants to bring back the sit-ups because apparently everyone hates me, right? What's going on? Most times the light is
I
straight
can't.
coming
I can barely hear you, Kat. What did you say? All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go over there on. All right. Oh.
Notice that my voice gets lower when I'm having when my shit starts lagging.
Nice.
So that's, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go up here.
V. Goodbye, V. It's nice seeing you around. Sorry that I'm now a centrist. Let's do some arm pumps. You're just like Sargon now. Yeah, I guess so. I'm just I gotta run for UKIP now. The United Kingdom Independence Party, apparently. Yeah, Andy, you're an ANCAP and I'm a centrist. You know how this goes. You sell out your morals for the money, for the dollars. You know, Coke Industries isn't sponsoring me unless I change my politics, right? So you got to do it. You got to do it. Someone is restreaming you. As for how I'm doing okay. Well, hello to people restreaming me. How you doing out there? Pretty weird. I don't know why they would do that, but
Because I want to watch you, Benzel.
when you could just come to my
Yeah,
stream.
we're coping and crying right now as we see a leftist
Or maybe I just don't know how Twitch works yet. Hey,
leave
Proudly
the
Radical,
fold.
how you doing this evening? How long have I been streaming now? Like a little over 2 months, 2.5 months or so. Not very long. I'm still learning all this stuff. Tonight was a really bad night. Tonight was the 40th birthday for a friend that passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lady Raincloud. That I know that can be tough.
All right. All right. That was enough of fucking Twitchception.
Yes, it was.
But I wanted to see that. And yeah, if Lady Raincloud is here, be careful. This is not a safe space for you. You might want to leave.
Gotta be careful with that language.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want somebody to, you know.
Smidgy smidge.
I've got him in the other window as well. Mitre, so no worries there. Tom, what are you up to tonight? Because Tom is an interesting fellow unto himself.
I actually was watching Tom earlier today. It was pretty. I think he was going over something that I forgot what it was. It was some news that happened today, but it was cool to see.
Just vibing.
Very chill.
Yeah, I think he was doing. Yeah, I've got the message here: history, geopolitics, coffee, understanding Russia and Putin.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to have a conversation, Tom, jump on in chat or jump on in on Discord. Just vibing, he says. Just vibing. There we go. Let's pull that over to DuckDuck and see. Let me try. Mitre, I'm not getting into any drama. Please don't stir it.
Should I give me Trey?
No. He's fine. He's fine. It's just
pull the trigger at any time.
no. It's just, you know.
I'm not checking chat right now. By the
Yeah,
way.
that person is problematic.
Is that like a bot?
No, it's a whole other thing.
Oh no, Mitre's quoting.
Yes. No,
That's fine. It's whatever. I mean, it seems kind of strange to lie like that when you could just pull up the auto mods. But, you know, who am I to judge?
this isn't even. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's just bullshit, you know?
Whatever. Good luck to you. Oh, you know, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, Taco. I think last night took a lot out of me. I think this bullshit is not worth my time. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we will. No, that's. I don't know. Let's.
How the fuck am I getting comments on my fucking stream when nobody's watching it? I'm confused now.
When does How do you know Cobbs is starting soon? Oh, I see his schedule. Hang on. 7:45. If you're in contact with Cobbs, let me know. That'd be useful. But yeah, right now, let's see. Let's toggle over that. How's your game going, Kat?
I'm getting fucked. I am not good at this game. I'm just streaming it because I'm bored and I want to get better. Also, you know, not being able to hear this game kind of fucks you. So there's that.
Let's see what Cat's to.
I don't know who I was restreaming, Lady Raincloud. Who you're to?
I like how
don't know
Ben's also
who I
genuinely
talked to
confused.
or who I was restreaming. Yeah, I don't know who this person is that's restreaming me. I don't know who they are.
Damn.
I just told him.
Look at you getting fucking.
It was me. Oh, okay. What's up?
Amazing.
I don't know. I don't know what the conversation's about, so let me catch up with chat.
Conversation
Sorry.
is currently watching one of his mods get fucked on stream live, breaking TOS.
Hold on.
No. Right. Wait a second.
Looking at politics and saw him doing it. What's up, Femboy Antcom? And Mary Spinster, how you doing this evening? Yeah, I see. I didn't see the conversation. I don't know.
All people are dying.
I don't know, right? I don't know what's going on. So I don't really know what to say.
Is this breaking TOS?
I sent
Am I
him.
allowed to get fucked on stream? Fuck.
I sent him a whisper.
Let's see. Fuck!
Proudly Radical has stated that their channel isn't a safe space and that they will debate, engage with chuds. Yeah, I'm not sure, right? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what happened. Automod does stuff, right? You can't always control it, but again, it's not like it, I don't really. I wasn't there. I didn't see what happened.
Why are they putting him in
right?
this
I don't want to like, because from what and like I don't want to dismiss your experience, Lady Raincloud, right? I mean, Rally Radicals never seemed particularly authoritarian or fascist to me. But I would suggest Proudly Radical seems like a great guy. Maybe message him privately and just try to understand, right? I don't think this is the place to get in this kind of thing, because I don't know the situation, right? But I'm sorry you had a bad experience.
Why do you gotta be so responsible with your platform?
I'll hold a fight stream everyone can throw down. That sounds great. I like it.
That Kai. Sounds like a joke.
Different praxis for different spaces. Cool. Yeah, like I like to chill here, you know? It's like let's I'm sorry I didn't stream yesterday, everyone. It just felt like it wasn't a huge news day.
Like I said, I've sent him a whisper.
Honestly, I am dead sick of people talking about Amy Coney Barrett.
How much we need to get his sit-ups back?
Her continually coming up. Honestly,
we're gonna get him there. Fuck
like,
it.
It's pointless, right? Hey, what's up, Corin?
Is he asking for bits?
No. Just channel points. If we can raise
Amy Coney Barrett, like
a certain amount,
How much I got
Like
transferred to
this,
Soros,
like this.
but-
150,000.
Anything to do with anything. You know what I mean?
They're up to 92,092.
When they don't.
And if it gets raised in
It's
15 days, he'll
ultimately
re-add
theater,
sit-ups
and
to his point reward
It just
queue.
comes down to whether or not they get the
Nice.
votes for it, which they are going to get the votes. So and that's the only thing that really came up yesterday that I saw anyway. Gonna get pushed through regardless, right? That's my guess. Yeah, for sure. And in the process, screwing over the whole of the the LGBTQ plus community, for sure. Women, more generally, all sorts of types of people, right? They're talking about overturning the Affordable Care Act, which, while I think we can all say has some serious problems.
All right.
What's your over/under on Roe v. Wade being overturned?
I think it's a coin flip at this point. I don't think they'll overturn it outright. I would expect them to whittle it away using sort of the states' rights tactics and a series of cases brought forward that would allow them to undermine it in that regard. So no outright overturning of Roe v. Wade, but an undermining to the point where the states that don't want it, that are controlled by these sort of interests, will be able to enact laws that essentially functionally eliminate it.
Right. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty much just count on America's reactionary forces to do what they do and sit back and let the fireworks burn.
Yeah, basically. Taco, I have 14,000 points on Benzel's channel, but can't contribute them on mobile. Really?
Sure you can you not?
Well, the fundraiser mechanism may not be the same on mobile. I don't know.
It's whack. This fundraiser mechanism is classless.
Yeah, actually it is. If you're not on a PC, you can't use it.
They don't know the Constitution. They don't care either. The Republicans would have to keel over dead for her not to be. Yes, it would seem that way, wouldn't it? I mean, to say she's not worth talking about when we know it, she's going to destroy.
Yeah, he can redeem points but not do the fundraiser thing.
It's whack.
Oh, by the way, I love that that person, it was literally like monitoring my channel.
Dude, woke schools are fucking crazy. I don't care what anyone says. They tend to be very, let's say, unfulfilled people.
That was the nuttiest part, right? Like not safe but has to watch. Like that was the nuttiest part, was, doing a little fucking Twitch browsing really quickly and seeing what SJ's up to. Benzel came live, seeing what Cat's up to, and fucking like immediately like, you're being restreamed. Like, holy shit, that's a little psychotic. Like, to be sitting on somebody's channel like that you sincerely want nothing, quote unquote, nothing to do with, or don't want to speak to, you want nothing to do with. Like, what do you, like, that's some Howard Stern syndrome territory. That, the ones that liked him listened for 45 minutes, the ones that hated him listened for an hour and a half. That's a little different.
A little out there. I respect the effort, though. Not really, but,
Trying
hey.
to stop her from getting
Oh, okay, he replied.
What's the name of my stream right now?
Uh,
Yeah. I just checked it on my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm concerned now because I have 4 viewers and they were all people that I were playing with. So
You getting stream sniped?
No, I was getting my teammates were fucking in chat. So they're all like giving me words of encouragement. It's fucking awesome, dude.
A lot of it got deleted, Taco. A lot of it got deleted. Let's just put it that way. It got, all of that typing got pulled back to one sentence and sort of a fragment. So yeah, no worries there.
It's like that moment of clarity hits you just as you're about to press send.
Yeah, it just, it's all drama, and who cares?
Right. It's some person that doesn't really matter much in the grand scheme of things. As harsh as it is to say. It's bullshit.
Yeah. So, yep, there is that sent, and oh, that wasn't even okay. Okay, cool. Cool. And let's jump over to that. Cool. Yeah, if I can do my best to navigate the waters of drama that is unnecessary, I shall do just that.
Ways to determine how the Supreme Court is chosen and run.
Okay, just checking charge levels and stuff. Yeah, right?
We love you, Mitre.
Fucking. Where's, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to do something here. So, and yeah, yes, I do have that knowledge confirmed by other people as well, Mitre. So we'll see if that message gets through to the person it was meant to go to. Ooh, there's another Discord update. Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yeah, they pushed one last night that fucked with the voice connections, and then they it fixed. But then yeah, apparently there's a new one today. So, all right, gotta whisper back. Is he still pretending to be a centrist? People are mentioning it.
The two-party system must be dismantled, and confirmation
Dude.
should require a two-thirds majority. I do fear this may lead to liberals compromising too much with the right, though. So, yes, I agree. The two-party system.
No, he's back. Benzel's back. Yeah, Benzel is back.
That's weak. That's weak.
I know, it would have been funny if he kept the shtick up for an entire fucking episode, like 4 hours of stream. He's just a centrist now.
This big brain centrist.
That would have been brilliant. I would have loved to
I
have
see the
seen that.
problem with all sides of the political spectrum, including the center.
I wish I could read that on air. You know what I can do?
Could you like send it to me and read it for you?
No,
Like a-
but the people who should see it, have access to that channel.
No.
Because I think that's I think it's a hilarious statement that was sent to me.
Interesting.
Right? Like, isn't that a self-proving issue?
Yeah, that makes my that makes the mod senses tingle. I'll leave it like that for chat.
Yeah, that's that's interesting.
Don't worry about it, Mitre. Just
Mitre's in there. Like, he knows.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I'm just saying. Hit on the
Yeah.
detail.
Nonsense. Did you see the Biden for Resident post from Trump? No, I didn't. Post it. Throw that in chat. I want to see that. Oh, okay. Hang on. Be right back.
Right.
No. You're fine. You there, Lynx?
Just let them ramble for 40 minutes.
All right, we are. Okay, we're
Nonsense.
all right. We're back. Yeah, that was an interesting thing I just had to do behind the scenes.
Oh, we were off the air for that? Fuck.
Yes, of course.
Aw, I wanted the chat to hear my one-liners.
No, that we came off air for that.
Damn it.
Biden for president off of fucking Trump's. That is interesting. That's I mean, oh, hang on, that's not okay. Let me get that too.
Is that the tweet?
Yeah, let me get it on screen.
I mean, it's not wrong, but you know, kettle and I forgot how the turn of phrase goes.
The pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, fucking whatever that shit. This is why I shouldn't run for office.
So this is the tweet. It's on screen. Let's see.
He said it ain't wrong, but I mean, like,
it's just, I mean, it's from fucking Trump's own Twitter account. Like,
right.
This is the level of presidential discourse in the nation. Nonsense saying it's legit one of the funniest ads I've ever seen from a president. Holy shit, he's a dirtbag. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the level of presidential discourse in this nation, apparently.
This is what late stage capitalism looks like, folks. Not a fun time.
Oh, do they have him working out again? Yep, they got him fucking working out again.
They got Benzel doing his thing.
Oops. Yeah. You know, when I've been active on his streams before, for past streams, you know, save up those points really quickly and fucking, you know, get back-to-back arm pumps, back-to-back sit-ups, which he got rid of the sit-ups. That was always one of my favorites to fucking to do. It turns out two old men with apparent symptoms of dementia make for a weird presidential race. The fact that we have to do this utilitarian calculus is insane. It is one of the most disturbing things that we can do in 2020 is like, hey, here's your pick, Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
Right.
I want off that ride. Like, can we get off that ride?
I would have taken literally any of the other candidates, honestly. Like, fuck it. I'll grit my teeth and vote for Warren. I'm not gonna like it, but Jesus fucking Christ.
I know.
This is not a good look.
It's fucking special. It's special.
Yeah. It's a spectacle.
Fucking that drama gave me a little bit of an anxiety thing. I can physiologically feel the response my body had to be dealing with that. Yeah. Like, it's fun to have a sort of neurological pain condition and have like a spike in stress hormones, and see the interesting ways in which that manifests itself. So, yes, thank you, Lynx. There's a reason I only go off proper on stream on a podcast episode, you know, maybe once every few months, that sort of thing, because it really is better for my health and my general condition day to day if I keep the level down, right? Like you could see even through all of that, I try and just maintain as best I can. That's just looking out for my own best interests and health, really.
Right.
Yeah, because stress does not do a body good when you have, you know, at all, really. But, you know, when you got other shit to deal with as well, then it's a whole other ball game.
Right, a bit of a compounding factor.
Yes. Yes, very much so a compounding factor. Let's see. Let me check my feed here and see if there was. Oh, yeah. Trump's having a town hall opposite of Biden's.
That's not a bad idea.
You know,
Not at
the
all, no.
yeah, the whole, well, I don't want to do a remote, bullshit excuse. No, he's going to do like a town hall of some sort. NBC's going to carry it. And they earlier today, the hashtag boycott NBC was trending as a result of it. Let's see. This is just a stupid fucking story. It really was. In preface of this.
Fuck the Chinese government. There.
All right. China insisted that Genghis Khan exhibit not use the words Genghis Khan. It's a French museum. They've postponed an exhibit about the Mongol Emperor Genghis Khan, which is, as I understand it, is closer to a pronunciation of Chinggis than Genghis. But I'll let a native Mongolian speaker really nail that one.
That'd be like ancient Mongolian too, and that's like a whole ballpark within itself.
Citing the interference by the Chinese government, which it accuses of attempting to rewrite history. The Chateau de Duc de something or other. It's French. Good luck. Here, let me, I'll throw it on screen. There you go. History Museum in the western city of Nantes says it was putting the show, it was putting the show about the fearsome 13th century leader on hold for over 3 years. The museum's director said, "We made the decision to stop this production in the name of the human, scientific, and ethical values that we defend." It said the Chinese authorities demanded that certain words, including Genghis Khan, Empire, and Mongol, be taken out of the show about Genghis Khan and the Mongolian Empire. Subsequently, they asked for power over the exhibition brochures, legends, and maps. The spat came as the Chinese government has hardened its, quote, discrimination against ethnic Mongols policy, many of whom live in the northern province of Inner Mongolia. Like, what? China is, they are problematic, shall we say.
Yeah, just a smidge. Tiny bit. We gotta critically support them, though, Kai. You're not gonna hate. I fucking hate this, like, new strain of Maoists that are coming out of, like, the woodwork. That are all being funded by places like RT and shit. Like, do you know about Caleb Maupin?
Not off the top of my head.
Oh, he's fucking crazy, dude. He's like unironically, that's like, I hesitate to even call him a socialist, but he's like someone who unironically is just like, the more government does stuff, the more socialist it is, and whatever China is doing, that's socialism. And if China ever changes the way they do things, that's socialism. Beautiful guy. Very fucking, very principled, obviously, coming off of Russia's payroll.
Yeah, of course. Mitre saying, you see, they never existed, just like Australia never existed as either a country inhabited by indigenous people or as a colonial outpost. It has always been China.
Yeah, right. How could I forget?
No. It's I don't know if that's a question. What that's about nonsense. That last question. Did you see the thing about the potential millennial saint? No, I didn't, but we're gonna search for that because that's fucking. There it is. An Italian teenager could become the first millennial saint. Carlos Acutis was a typical teenager. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't like how this is written. In many ways, Carlo Acutis was a typical teenager. He loved his PlayStation and making videos of his dogs. Jesus Christ. He favored Nikes and jeans, and he had a cell phone and an email address. He was 15 when he died of leukemia. He was on his way to becoming the first millennial to be recognized as a saint in the Roman Catholic Church. Since his death, Carlo has become known in some Catholic circles as the patron saint of the internet for his facility with computers and his early enthusiastic embrace of the web, which he used as an expression of his Catholic faith. This is some opportunistic horror right here. They are using the memory of this child who died of leukemia in order to, as Nonsense pointed out, vie for a younger audience.
Yeah, this doesn't quite sit well with me. Strangely enough.
Carlo was the light answer to the dark side of the web, his mother said, adding that some admirers called him an influencer for God. After his death, the Diocese of Assisi, where his family had a second home, petitioned the Vatican to recognize Carlo as a saint. The diocese dug into his emails and his computer search history and interviewed witnesses. Then they waited for miracles. Acutis said that people from all over the world had told her about medical miracles, including cures for infertility and cancer that happened after they prayed to her son. Oh, Jesus.
It just gets worse as you go along, you know?
Pope Francis attributed the unexplainable, or the inexplicable, attributed the inexplicable healing of a boy with a malformed pancreas to Carlo after the child came in contact with one of his shirts. Now that he's been beatified, Carlo could become a saint if a second verified miracle is attributed to him and is recognized by the Pope. A formal canonization ceremony would follow. Oh my God!
It's just this fucking steady downhill slope. It just, you know, like they exploit him, they exploit the grieving mother, they fucking throw in the bullshit anecdotal story. It just fucking descends into madness.
There it is. Already, Carlo, he's only been just been beatified, but already he's a worldwide phenomenon, said the Reverend Will Conker, a Catholic priest and missionary in Cambodia, who's written about Carlo's path to sainthood. Good luck in class, Mitre. Thanks for hanging out. Cambodia has written about Carlo's path to sainthood. Quote, "What makes it so extraordinary is that he was ordinary. We're telling people the guy you should be following is a guy very similar to you." This is just terrible. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I believe it. I 100% believe it. But it's always interesting to see it in a contemporary, real-time process. This is absurd.
Right. And this is a story you can see being passed around church circles for a while from now. This doesn't just go away overnight.
The capitalistic tie-ins to this story are hilarious. Carlo's body, which was exhumed for veneration this month, was displayed in a nearby church with his preferred wardrobe of Nikes, jeans, and a sweater.
Ew.
They brand checked his shoes. This is so disgusting. Yeah, like Hail Bops is nonsense. Hey, Crash is live. Crash is doing stuff. Maybe he seems like a good kid. I mean, you know, he was into some really nice stuff, but this is just exploitation for the purposes of marketing a religion to a new demographic that they're having trouble capturing. This is just disgusting.
Something that's kind of like the horrific part of a lot of these stories too is that like a lot of the time the people mentioned in them seem to be just well-meaning average people that probably didn't intend for their message to be warped like this. Because I'm sure, like, then again, maybe this kid was aspiring towards sainthood. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
But
maybe. Hey, what do we know? Maybe he was. Maybe he is actually a
Yeah,
saint. Maybe he's.
Yeah, this is his long con, for all we know.
Fucking.
But I don't know. It just
Oh,
seems to me like
okay.
he just wanted to do good by his community, and it just ended up being perfectly exploited.
All right,
And that's how it almost always goes.
Oh, I'm having trouble getting that. Hang on, because of all of my. All right. Yeah, that's difficult to get on air. Let's see. Yeah, because of this bullshit. All right. Yeah, their video is getting nailed. Hang on. I'll fucking, for a moment, allow these assholes to.
Move the airwaves.
Jesus Christ, there are so many ads. There's so much bullshit on this page. Oh my God, CNN.
CNN picked it up?
This is basically unusable as a website. All right, so there's his hair. Nonsense was pointing out you gotta look at the kid's hair. Yeah, he's got a nice like curly like Italian sort of thing going on.
That's a way to sidestep it.
Yep. A teenage computer genius could be on the path to sainthood. Jesus.
That was one of your people.
Well, okay, so this is gonna sound really fucked, right? I want his credentials. What did he do to be called a teenage computer genius?
I'm curious now too. Probably not going to get answered though.
Oh, all right. What is this kid's fucking name? Carlo something or other. Carlo Acutis. There we go. All right. Yeah, let's just type in computer work and see. I want to know, like, British computer whiz. Everybody just describes him as this. Like, I want to know. There we go. Wikipedia. Maybe they have some accurate content on this kid. Because I want to know if he did, like, badass. But I want to know. All this is about religion. He's best known for documenting Eucharistic miracles around the world and cataloging them onto a website he created in the months before his death from leukemia. All right.
Is it a badass website?
Let's see. A patron of computer programmers. Computer programmers hate that, by the way. Website development is not generally programming unless you get into certain aspects of it. Designing a website most assuredly is not. And scripting languages are also sometimes divided from proper programming languages. So there's a whole other contingent there as well. I'm looking for what is his actual website. All right, so we'll just search for Eucharistic miracles and Carlos Acutis and see what we fucking find. There's his website. Oh God, it doesn't even have an SSL certificate. Jesus Christ. I gotta, like, this is, all right. Neither does this one. It's just not secure websites. No, it's not a particularly badass website either. The virtual museum is just a screenshot gallery. It's not anything special there. No. No, the miracles list is just an indexed list. With PDFs attached. A little bit of document design here, but let me go to his like root website and we'll see. Is this in English? Thank you. Association, official. Okay, so all this is being built even after he's dead. Some of this is still being built. Yeah. Okay. I take exception with the idea of calling this individual some sort of computer genius. Let alone, I would take exception with him being called a computer whiz, let alone a computer genius. He made an indexed website of so-called miracles. That seems not that great. So. Yeah.
There's some dude up with this, the Kiwi Farms. Degenerate leftist, Soros paid tech junkie. Discredits the findings and works of our patron saint. Fucking know.
I know, right?
I'm already forgetting.
Yeah, patron saint of internet or something or other.
Right.
Programmers, internet.
They're gonna be reading in the comments, just saying like they don't even remember his name. They don't even remember, just fucking losing their minds.
Taco, I used to set my Pops VCR. When do I get canonized into sainthood? That's about the bar. For somebody who grew up around technology, I got to tell you, setting up a website with a simple index of data and some mild page design and document design, that's might as well be setting a VCR clock. It's not that complicated. It really isn't.
Do with Squarespace.
Yeah, it's I take exception with that. Words matter. The fact of the matter is it's just one more indicator that they're just using this kid's death and his hobby to further their propaganda goal, which is fucked. Let's see. We got that. Oh, no, minimize. So this is what Overwatch looks like.
Yeah.
It's very cartoony, isn't it?
It's like a hybrid of like old school cartoons and like anime. That's like the two like main art styles that it draws upon. But yeah, that is like kind of the goal. A lot of people like kind of compare it to like a modern Disney art style. But
I get that. I
tough.
see it. It's I mean Disney's had influence in every fucking aspect of animation for so long. There's no way to probably avoid that comparison at a certain point.
I'm about to get fucked.
Containers, freeze it, then make all my garden potatoes into soup in the same stock pot, and then also freeze most of it. Oh, that's fair. That sounds really good. Having a whole bunch of stock available is like really smart move.
Okay. Somebody just suggested baked bean popsicles.
I'll give it a shot. Fuck it. Just to say that I did it. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like it. I'm actually pretty sure I won't, but fuck it.
All right, close those. Oh, all right. I think. What the fuck?
Let's actually talk politics. What's going on today? So, I got a couple videos lined up.
All right. Some other shit going down in his chat. Doesn't involve me this time, though.
Oh, that's nice. I think.
Well, you know, somebody's at least not stalking me.
Dude, that's weird. It's just, it seems strange, you know?
The best thing you can do, ask any creative competition.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like competition.
Can social? Oh, he's watching The Middle Ground. Oh, Jesus. Have you ever watched The Middle Ground?
I can't say that I have.
Oh, Lord. It's a YouTube series. And it's like you put a bunch of people from supposedly
Oh, yeah, I have actually seen that, dude. It's fucking crazy.
yeah, supposedly opposite positions, and you have them talk, and they give them like a series of question prompts sometimes, and it's never productive. I say never. It often devolves, or you start to find inconsistencies in the supposed positions that these people are supposed to represent. And
Right. A lot of the time it feels like they just do like a quick Google search of some people that may be involved in these issues and just pull them. Like it seems very rarely like they have like the people that are involved with getting these individuals tend to have like a sound understanding of the situation at hand.
Yeah. I mean, they have Satanists versus major religions, mass shooting survivors versus NRA members, flat earthers versus scientists.
Right.
You know, it's men's right versus feminism, pro-vaccine versus anti-vaccine.
A favorite of mine was incels versus feminists. That was a fun one because like I think one of the feminists was like actually a TERF, and then like the other two were like just like trying to really understand the guy and his predicament, and it just fucking devolved from there basically.
They do have a "I'm an incel, ask me anything" video.
Yeah, that's one of the guys from the panel. Is he like a chubby dude, curly hair?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Curly hair, long curly hair, shoulder length.
Yep. That's the dude. He's fucking
If you
crazy.
could summarize your opinion towards women.
Like what I think of them?
Yes.
I do think they are very important, but
Nice editing. Admittedly, nice editing. Fucking
They know what
butts.
they're doing.
Some topics are hard to approach.
More and more male hatred against women is rising up.
you might call this a new phenomenon.
Either the subjects are inaccessible or people are uncomfortable discussing them.
If you're an ugly guy, you better get a good job and make some money, because nobody's gonna want to talk to you.
Girls, I will destroy you.
You don't deserve to get laid at all!
So we found those subjects in person, rented a
people are
space in
nuts.
Hollywood, and invited our audience and any strangers walking by to come inside and ask them anything.
Okay. Hey, I'm Brendio. I also go by Derek. I'm an incel, and I'm here to answer people's questions about the topic.
He's cute enough. He could get laid. It's always, you know, oh, I'm involuntarily celibate because, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, you're not involuntarily celibate.
Yeah, he calls himself a abomination cell or something along that lines. Like he's like, you know, it's just fucking pathetic. But,
Hi,
you know,
how are you?
Whatever.
Hi, I'm good.
So you're an incel.
Yes.
Why would you ever sign up to do this?
I suppose I would want to give more of a positive light on this community, which is a very negative light upon it.
Okay. And do you think that's a good thing?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because a lot of the boys in this community aren't bad people.
But you acknowledge that a good handful of them are, right?
Not a good handful, I would say a small handful.
Who hurt you, or what happened? What event sort of catalyzed
That's the question everybody wants to ask. Like, what happened, bro?
this way of thinking and you getting into this kind of research?
Society.
Do you hate women?
No.
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 Do you have a female role model in your life?
A female role model?
Yeah, like a mom or an aunt or a friend?
I mean, I love my mom. I wouldn't necessarily consider her a role model, but I do love her quite a bit.
If a woman was elected as president of the United States, how would you react?
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. It probably would depend on the woman. I probably wouldn't be supportive of it, honestly, but
Why do you say that, if you don't mind me asking?
I do think that men should be the leaders and women should be the caregivers and the loving, supporting, and the teachers. In some cases.
Since women of color or just women in general have been oppressed by certain systems and other oppressed communities, especially LGBTQ+, all those don't really fit with the spectrum that incels or you have been talking about. So why do you think your method of thought would help fix what we have today?
I probably wouldn't view the things that you might view as oppression as oppression. I have a feeling. I would view it more as how we treat children that we love. We control them, but we control them lovingly, not as a slave, not as we're forcing them to do things against their will.
I
would
love
view
her
it more as
face.
a loving domestic.
Yeah, that's just like
I'm sorry, what?
And I would say that if we were to do it in a civilized way, maybe in a more, even a Christian way, even though I'm not really advocating for a certain religion or ideology, I would assume that women would probably be happier. And I wouldn't just assume that blindly. I would assume that based on the data that I have seen.
What data have you seen that has brought you to this conclusion? Because I'm now curious where I can get this data from.
I couldn't reference it offhand, but I believe there was a study that
She's got a notepad and pen. Like, she's ready.
She's studying this, dude.
What do you think it is about liberal areas that create behavior in women that you think is a problem?
promiscuity leads to increased standards in more primitive aspects such as looks. And that typically makes it harder for some people to find a relationship, including sometimes good-looking people. Like, there's guys who are much better looking than I am who are having a really hard time finding someone in a place like LA or in London or in Auckland, New Zealand. But they probably would have a perfectly fine time finding a woman somewhere else.
What an interesting addition to that list.
Yeah, well, this was back when the Christchurch thing happened.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that probably that contextualizes it then.
Promiscuity is the problem, and if people were more monogamous and more withholding, that would sort of fix society.
Yeah, I suppose people were more traditionalist.
There have been a few mass shootings in the past where these shooters actually stated that they were incels or were radicalized by online incels. What do you think about their actions?
I condemn their actions. I don't believe I don't believe violence is the solution. I don't believe attacking random people is going to fix anything, whether they're, women or men. I do think that the reason why they committed those actions was probably because of out of desperation or out of, mental problems that probably could have been prevented had the right support was in their community, in their household. If people saw what they were posting and saw what they were experiencing in life and did something to help them.
Was there like a pivotal moment in your life, like a straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back?
It's constant years of rejection, no matter who the person was, constant years of rejection in other aspects of my life. It did kind of push me towards more, I suppose, radical beliefs, but I suppose they're only like radical, but they're more just old beliefs, really.
No, it sounds like I had another metaphor like death by 1,000 cuts. It's not like one pivotal moment, but it sounds like a bunch of things built up over time.
Yeah.
One of the common criticisms about the incel community is that you feel entitled to sex or intimacy. Do you believe that you deserve sex or intimacy from a woman?
I think everybody at some level deserves someone that loves them and, respects them, as long as you are also loving and respectful towards that person. They're an equal. You're not seeking someone beyond yourself. You don't have too high standards, I suppose.
If you can tell the world about something about being incel that
If he had left that statement at the very beginning and trimmed it up and said, I think on some level everyone deserves someone to love and be loved by, that, that sort of thing, it would have been really good praxis for him. But he drug it out far enough that you're like, oh, okay, I see what you mean,
Yeah, it's something that I feel would get me canceled in a lot of lefty spaces. I don't think his statement that a lot of what leads these guys to do what they do is I be pretty comfortable characterizing it as alienation under capitalism. It's just that
I do like, I mean, okay, so there's the two, like there's the bad faith actors, the good faith actors, the ones who legitimately feel themselves to be in this category and feel these pressures, and, you know, then yeah, no, I don't think there is like much debate to be had there, that society does create a confluence of certain factors that are odious even for individuals such as himself. We're not, you know, it seems that some of us come out a different, we react differently to those pressures.
Right.
And what we're
Whereas
seeing,
the old turn of phrase goes, some people are just built differently.
yeah. And so, I mean, you know, there is credence, veracity to their existence, but, you know, that's pretty much where it stops.
Yeah, there's no justification for then their subsequent ideology. That's just something that I've noticed, that like a lot of like the right has been really good at co-opting, is just understanding alienation and then using that to fill their political ends.
Well, that's been a pretty solid tactic since, you know, way back for people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the military's been using that for a while.
Right.
That may not
want
be
to
the
be
internet,
like some.
or that's overlooked heavily. What would it be?
I don't know. I think it's mostly that most of the men are not inherently bad people. A lot of them are just lonely. They just need some help, really.
Okay. Would you say that there's anything that other people can do to help guide or just support, or
You know, the lonely person in your class, or the lonely person in your workplace, maybe he's an incel and he's not letting you know, and he's just kind of afraid to, you want someone positive, just be nice, say hi, try and make friends with him. You don't have to date him, you don't have to whatever, just, you know, brighten up someone lonely's day, I suppose.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
You don't want to be an incel?
No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's part of the whole involuntarily thing. I mean, you know, you want to try and escape it. You want to be something better. You know, you want to get a wife, get a girlfriend, get someone who loves you, spend your life with them, and be happy. And
What's one thing you wish people understood better about you?
I don't know. I guess I wish people would recognize how much effort I'm trying, I suppose. Like, you know, I'm working out typically daily. I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm out there job hunting actively. I don't think people recognize how much effort the incels in general try to put
Good luck,
into
Taco.
bettering themselves. I would say, you know, people don't recognize their effort. They just assume that they're all like lazy and sad and angry at women and just giving up and things of that nature, I suppose.
Okay.
You don't have to see the bad things in the world and then come out a bad person. You can just see the bad things in the world and then improve upon yourself because of them, I suppose.
So you do have hope.
Yeah, I have hope, yeah. I'm a very hopeful person, I suppose.
I won't lie, this went a lot differently than I thought it would. I thought we'd be yelling at each other, you know?
It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
Oh, they have them literally separated by a curtain.
Hello, thanks for watching the video.
That probably helps.
Interesting. I didn't see that comment.
Yeah. See, this is when he was already cooled down, though. The other video that he was in, which was like a full-on debate, just fucking crazy, emotionally unhinged. He wasn't yelling, but like the things they were saying just let you know where his mind was at. I mean, even then, he had some pretty fucking crazy shit to say. But, you know.
Interesting. Let's see. I'm going to... I still have progress to make on that. I think I'm gonna... Yep. Let's see. Do that. Come on. Dude, I hate loading screens. I hate loading screens.
With CryEngine.
Billion.
I despise loading screens. Here we go. All right. I could fucking boot up. I could launch Sniper Elite. That seemed to trigger a bunch of fucking people.
Dude, this is people off, dude. It's hilarious.
Fucking that was. that was a whole fucking thing. I had a whole bunch of people walk in while I was playing that, just like, "Eh!" If you want, Danny, right now I'm, oh, is that? All right, cool. It looks like it does. Just wondering if what that mutes.
Ui Kurchatov. Since independence, Kurchatov has been developing a radical AI-controlled hypersonic missile defense system.
Every fucking time.
Kurchatov and his chief strategist, Xenik Alikhanov, plan to implement this system along Siberia's borders with China, America, and Russia. However, the recent assassinations have forced them to advance their plans.
There we go. Yeah, we're sort of taking a break right now, Danny, but if there's any particular type of politics that you want to talk, then feel free to go for it, and I will gladly respond. Pull all that down. But right now, I am finding my way through a sort of post-breakup Russia, a post-Siberian fucking act of independence. You know what? Oh, you know what I do have, though? Actually, I don't even feel like playing this. I have...
Sounds like a big, crazy scenario.
Oh, it is. I have a Saints Row 4, I think.
Something like some hyper-capitalism to get you going.
The one that, there we go. Let's see. All right, cool. It's the one in which, like the leader of the Saints, and then
and he goes into the Matrix.
Yeah, fucking absolutely batshit insane one.
Yep.
There we go.
I fucking played the shit out of that one, actually. It was fun. You'll like it.
most helpful critical review. Trash. This shit won't even start. Let's see what this looks like. Because this is not a game series I've ever really played. I've seen it played, but I never really played it. All I know is it's batshit insane usually.
It's just GTA on crack. That's really all you need to know.
All right, audio bullshit away. Music.
You might want to turn off music. Yeah, it's all copyright.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's all copyright. Like it has like Kendrick Lamar, Biz Markie. Like it's.
Fuck that.
You know, I'm gonna play it on stream.
And put that on casual because like I want a fucking challenge out of a Saints Row game. Like I want to shoot somebody and just be done with it.
You're not gonna be doing a lot of shooting in this one.
Really?
You'll see why. Yeah, you'll see why. I mean, it happens, but like, not too much. Like I said, you'll see.
It is a truth universally acknowledged that every now and again a situation arises that defies explanation. And so it was with the ascension of the Third Street Saints. When the Saints made their presence known to the world in 2006, they were decried for being pretenders to the throne. The people were confused.
Can I? Oh, I can't. Okay, so I just skipped the fucking... Alright, hang on. It has... Oh, no. It... There we go. Kill that. Main. Okay. Its resolution had dropped down. I need to go in and jump up all the settings because, again, that was bullshit on the screen. Display. Yeah, what? Yeah, Ultra. Music didn't take at all.
I think the menu music's fine. It's just the actual.
No, it had reset itself entirely.
Oh, damn.
Interesting. All right. There we go. Let's do that. All right. So here's what we're going to do. As always, kaisthing.com, kasthings.com. If you're still around, I'm ending it here. I'm done streaming. I don't even want to invite any more fucking drama for tonight. I'm over it. I will catch you guys later. I will see you tomorrow.